So the biggest benefit that I've felt working with Karthik, and this I cannot overstate this, is the whole stress around money. You know, in today's day and age, whatever topic you talk about, be it a key life decision or a career decision, everything really boils down to, at some level, money, right? Working with Karthik, the whole concept of stress related to finance has completely vanished. And that's because we follow a process, and it's a very simple process. There isn't much of a rocket science to the process, but the proof in the running is in the doing, right? So I say running because I'm a long distance runner, and at least a lot of my personal and professional values come from that source, which is doing something simple and small, but on a very consistent basis over a long run. Luckily, Karthik and I are aligned in many ways on that front. So the stress has gone away because there is a goal and there is a process to follow to that goal. And we just continue to, follow the process. And the challenge is to not meddle with that process. But Karthik's biggest secret is his simplicity and the way he is, both as an individual and also that translates into the advice that he gives. And just keeping it simple and keeping it repetitive, and all of that leads to compounding in the long run. And I can see that happen over the last few years that I've been working with him. So the biggest benefit of working with Karthik has been, to a large extent, or whatever is humanly possible, I've really stopped worrying about, goals, financial goals, and, the places that I need to achieve certain things. All of that is just vanished. My biggest challenge before working with Karthik was twofold. Firstly, there was never really a personalized service. We always had a bank to call or a brokerage house, and the employees would keep changing. So I think with Karthik coming into the fray, there's this one person to go for everything related to money. I think that's one big thing. But the second one, which is even more important, is that there was always a concept of saving. I have a finance background, so I understand the concept of SIPs and, most of the important financial concepts, but there was never really a goal-focused saving, I think working with Karthik has helped me to figure out that there are certain things, some milestones that I'd like to achieve, and you have a dedicated plan for those goals which you're working for on a month-on-month basis. And that has completely transformed the way I think about wealth and wealth management, as opposed to earlier, where I was taking a flight, but I didn't know where to. So what sets Karthik apart is, I'm going to share a few personal anecdotes. Firstly, I know Karthik for almost 20 years now. We interned at the same investment bank in 2007. So, I've observed the person for a very long time. The other thing that people don't know is that his late father was a very senior and a respected banker in Mumbai. So obviously, figuratively speaking, the man's got finance in his blood. But also, I have seen him work in the industry for many, many years. So much so that Karthik often posts online about this one 20-year-old SIP that he's been doing with HDFC. So here's a man who's giving you advice after doing something, right? This is just not advice that is coming without data, without backing it up with data. So obviously the person knows what he's doing. There's a very high degree of ethical behavior involved. Definitely not in this for the money itself. Sure, Physical Fitness is a for-profit organization, and it should be. That said, there is no greed. There is no, there is nothing. The world of finance is a lot about sales. And it's none of that. In fact, what I like the most about Karthik, and in a 20-year period, you've seen demises and heart attacks and big life events of people, and you worked with Karthik, or people have interacted at a very personal level on many of the big life events that happen. And that's when you see the true nature of a person, is when they are down with a little bit of a hard knock. And I've repeatedly seen Karthik that he'll always tell you the right thing to do. And sometimes it's not what you want to hear. Sometimes you want to make an emotional decision. Sometimes you want to perhaps play a little bit from fear. Sometimes you want to get a little greedy. But the man's got a level head. And I think just as an individual, he's very sorted to do this advisory business in the right way. Apart from that, I think the most important thing that people again forget in the world of personal finance, and this is again Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, if you go back and read any finance books, is that the best keep it very, very simple. So his concept of simplicity, I'll give you an example. Most of the people that I've worked with in the past, 80% of the time would be to select the fund, and 20% of the time would be spent on setting goals. With Karthik, almost 80% of the times has been on setting goals and very little on what needs to be done for that. Because that is a simple process which once you follow, the results will automatically will come. So the simplicity is what really draws me to his to the way he operates. And great person individually as well as a advisor, and highly recommend that you should work with him. I think it's important that if you want to consider fiscal fitness, I think you should have a call with Karthik to understand how his mindset is, whether it's aligned with your way of thinking or not. Most of us, unfortunately, be it India or otherwise, in the world of finance, at least when it comes to personal wealth, there's a lot of competition and comparing fund managers and trying to see who can get you that extra return. And for some of us who work in the field, you know that a extra alpha here and there could be a blip, but on a consistent basis, if you look over a 5, 10, 20, 30 year period, to consistently generate that alpha is very difficult. That's why it's best to keep things simple. And Karthik's got this simplistic mindset, and not one that would fall for comparison with other fund managers and all of that. In fact, dare I say that it is as much as you picking him as a service provider as he is picking you as a client. And if the mindset doesn't match, he may not even want to work with you. I've made a few introductions in the past that have gone wrong. So my strong recommendation is to really understand his concepts and how he operates as an individual, his value system, and see if you're aligned or not. And if you're not aligned, and there's nothing wrong with that, you best find somebody else. But if you're aligned, I can definitely assure you that for some of us, not just me, but a lot of my friends and family who worked with him, there's definitely going to be a guaranteed peace of mind when it comes to the space of personal finance.